So this is a classic kind of Regents question that you're going to see worth a significant number of points. And it's not that it's complicated; it just has so many parts to it, and that's what we have to do. So basically, the overall gist here is you've got two people each filling a pool, okay, and then they're going to figure out how much it costs to fill the pool. So we've got dimensions. All right. So what I'm going to do to start off with is I'm going to write down Teresa here, and I'm going to write down Nancy here. Two nice suburban ladies filling up their pools. Teresa has a rectangular pool that is 30 feet long, 15 feet wide, 4 feet deep. She fills her pool. That tells you how much she fills it. We need the volume before we can figure out the cost anyways. Nancy has a circular pool with a diameter of 24 feet and a depth of 4 feet. She fills her pool, and she's got a different price for her water. They both fill their pools, and this is the part that when this was on the Regents, I actually missed. I had to go back and redo it. They both fill their pools 6 inches from the top of the pool, so they don't fill it all the way up. So neither one of them fills it 4 feet deep. All right, now you got to do a little bit of thinking here. All right, so they don't fill it 4 feet deep. 12 inches is 1 foot. So how many inches is how many feet is 6 inches? You're going to get 6 equals 12x, and you're going to get 0.5, which means that they each fill their pool 3.5 feet deep. All right, so now it's a very minor thing, but again, you're going to lose a full point if you don't notice that. So that's the first thing I would try to notice when I'm doing something like this. The second thing I've got to deal with is, what are these things? Teresa's pool is rectangular, which means it's a prism. It's like a box, all right? It's not at all realistic. Nobody's pool is a perfect prism. Nancy has a circular pool. Now, this is a thing that maybe if you've never seen one of these before, you might not know what's going on here. It's a cylinder. And this is actually what these pools look like. They're very wide, but not very tall. Now, 4 feet deep, I think that maybe they're 5 feet deep. But anyways, it looks like a cylinder. All right, so now what I got to do first is find the volume of each of these pools, all right, when they're full with the water, but only 3.5 feet deep. So let's do that. So the prism is volume equals area of the base times the height. Remember, capital B is area of the base. It's a rectangle. So it's going to be area equals base times height. Now remember, it's the height of the rectangle, not the pool. So the rectangle pool is going to be, the bottom's going to be 30 and 15. So 30 times 15 is 450. And that's capital B. You got to remember that. All right, so now the volume of that pool is volume equals area of the base, 450, which I just found, times 3.5, which is going to be 450 times 3.5, 1575. That's how many cubic feet she needs. That's her volume. All right, so I'm going to write down cubic feet. You would not need to write that down. So I'm going to come back to this in a minute. All right, so now Nancy's filling up her pool. Her pool is a cylinder, so it's pi r squared h. It has a diameter of 24. And again, there's just so many pieces to these. So 24 divided by 2 is 12. That's the radius. So it's pi times 12 squared times 3.5. All right, so pi, that's the button. Pi times 12 squared times 3.5. So 1583.362, and I'm not going to round anything. So 1583.362, blah, 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 cubic feet. Now, not surprisingly, and if you've done some Regents review and stuff, you'll see that they're about the same size. Okay, this probably wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if they were completely different. So now I need to take the cubic feet that I just got for the volume, which again is maybe something that you didn't understand, and I've got to turn that into gallons. So it says right here, 1 cubic foot is 7.48 gallons. So we got options here. What I would suggest is 1 cubic foot is 7.48 gallons. I have 1,575 cubic feet. I need to know how many gallons that is. So what I'm going to end up getting is just multiplying those. So maybe you can come up with that on your own. You know, I've said throughout the unit that if you run into problems and you're not sure what to do, always multiply, because it's 90% of the times it's multiplied. But that's how you would actually set it up. So this person needs 11,781 gallons of water. Gallons. I'm going to keep labeling stuff because that keeps it easy to deal with it. All right, I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to set it up even though you know probably what's going to happen. X equals, they're going to need a little bit more. And again, I've got the number here, so I'm covered there. 11,843. 552. Now, at any point, you could round it. You could round at 1583. It's probably going to be fine. But like I like to stick to the not rounding thing. Okay. Now, it costs them different things. So it costs Teresa $3.95 for each 100 gallons of water. Now, there's so many different ways to do this. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick to this proportion system. So it costs her $3.95 for every 100 gallons of water. She needs 11,781 gallons of water. I need to know how much it costs. Okay, now I'm going to end up having to cross multiply and divide here. So I'm going to get 100x equals, all right, and then my numbers are here, so I can avoid typing them if I want, times 3.95, and I'm getting gigantic numbers here. 46,534, 0.95, and I got to divide that by 100. So I get x equals $465.35. 465.35. All right. Now, it should cost around that much for this other person to fill their pool, or else, again, the problem doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So we're into the same thing, but they don't have the same rate. This person pays $200 for 6,000 gallons. So they pay $200 for 6,000 gallons. So we need to know how much they pay for 11,843.552 gallons. So I'm going to get 6,000x equals, I'm going to get a big number for this. That number times 200 is going to give me 2368. 2368. 710. 710.594. And then I divide by 6,000, which is going to take that big number and shrink it down to probably around $500. $394.79. So $394.79. All right, and let's make sure we answer the question because I've done a whole bunch of work here. Determine and state who filled more to fill their pool. All right, so who filled more to get their pool or paid more? Make sure you write down who paid more. That person paid more to fill their pool. And again, that's super long. That problem should realistically take one of you 15 minutes, which is why I wouldn't give you one of these on an assessment. For us, it'd be a piece of it or something. But when it comes time for the Regents exam, that's the kind of stuff you see at the end of the test. All right, at the end of the test. So we'll talk about strategies of maybe doing those problems first. We're going to halfway started and doing the easy parts first before you tackle the whole thing.